Ladies and gentlemen, imagine Graceland at sunrise, the mansion still cloaked in silence. 48 years have passed since the world mourned the death of Elvis Presley, the legendary king of rock. But this morning, a rumor ignites Memphis. A private vault, sealed since 1977, has just been opened. A shiver runs through the air. What could it contain? Memories, confessions, or the key to a mystery that has haunted his fans for decades? Cameras are focused on the mansion. Fans gather, some with tears in their eyes, others dressed in iconic Elvis attire, anxiously waiting for every second of what is about to be revealed. The air is thick with anticipation. News crews whisper to each other, comparing notes about what might be inside. Some reporters speculate about lost recordings. Others mention letters, personal mementos, or even unreleased performances that could finally answer questions fans have been asking for decades. Let's go back to the summer of 1977. Newspapers announced the sudden death of Elvis at only 42 years old. Yet, from the very first funeral, inconsistencies appear. A hastily issued death certificate raises eyebrows. Witnesses claim to have seen his body, but some insist it didn't look quite right. Friends and family recall moments that don't match public reports. The legend of a still-living Elvis begins to take root. Fans share troubling details. One recalls seeing a familiar figure from the corner of her eye near Graceland years after the official death. Another mentions a signature on a document dated after August 16, 1977. For decades, these small anomalies fueled speculation, whispers, and rumors, but no one had tangible proof until now. The vault itself has been a subject of legend. Hidden for nearly half a century, untouched, perfectly preserved, its existence only whispered about among Graceland staff and a few trusted friends. When it was finally opened, the discovery shocked even the most seasoned historians. Inside were notebooks, magnetic tape recordings, letters never sent, and personal photographs. Each object told a story. Unpublished sheet music, rare photos, even a passport under a false name. These were not the trinkets of a man chasing fame. They were the carefully preserved memories of a man protecting his life, his family, and his music. Among the items, an original Sun Records recording drew immediate attention. The session that launched his career decades ago now seemed to whisper secrets from the past. A shiver ran through everyone present. For the first time, Elvis's legend felt tangibly real, almost alive again in that room. An unexpected voice emerged from the past. A former member of the Memphis Mafia, Elvis's closest inner circle, came forward. His voice trembled as he spoke. Elvis often talked about disappearing, about freeing himself from the weight of fame. He wanted people to remember the music, not the chaos around it. His confession added a human dimension to the mystery, revealing a man who loved his fans but yearned for freedom from the relentless glare of fame. Cassettes recorded secretly within Graceland further revealed moments of intimacy, laughter, private conversations, and even moments of self-reflection. Acoustic experts painstakingly compared these tapes with public recordings and confirmed what many had long suspected. The voice was unmistakably Elvis. The evidence began to paint a picture of a man who may have orchestrated a quiet retreat from the world while continuing to live, breathe, and create music. Rumors and sightings extended far beyond Memphis. In South America, a blurry photograph showed a figure resembling Elvis walking along a cobblestone street. In Europe, an anonymous witness swore they had attended a small club performance describing a man whose voice was hauntingly familiar. Even a former FBI agent revealed that an anonymous performer had been tracked for years, leaving breadcrumbs that suggested Elvis had not fully left this world. Inside the vault, the most astonishing discovery awaited: a song unknown to the public, performed by a voice identical to Elvis. Dated from the 1980s, acoustic analysis confirmed the voice's authenticity. And yet, perhaps the most emotional find was a handwritten letter, dated August 15, 1977, addressed simply to his fans. In it, Elvis wrote, "Thank you for keeping the music in your hearts. Love endures." A Polaroid photograph showed Elvis sitting quietly in the Graceland garden, guitar on his knees, bathed in the soft glow of sunrise. It was a serene, private moment preserved for decades, untouched by time. This image, alongside the letter and music, revealed the true heart of the man behind the legend, someone deeply connected to his fans, his family, and his own music. The world reacted immediately. Social media exploded. Hashtags like Jaka Elvis Vault, Elvis Final Letter, and King Lives flooded timelines. News networks interrupted broadcasts. Fans gathered outside Graceland, singing softly together, tears streaming down their faces. Across the globe, in London, Tokyo, and Sydney, spontaneous tribute concerts and gatherings honored the discovery. Millions of fans, old and new, experienced a renewed connection to Elvis Presley. Not as a celebrity, but as a human being who had touched their lives through music. Music historians reflected on the discovery. Dr. Maria Cortez of the Smithsonian commented, "We often define artists by their output. Records sold, concerts played. This discovery reminds us that the greatest legacy can be a simple, handwritten note of gratitude." Critics noted that Elvis's careful preservation of these items suggested a man who understood the enduring power of his work, his influence, and the deep bond he shared with his audience. Even Elvis's family joined in the worldwide reflection. Riley Keough, addressing fans via livestream, said, "My grandfather wanted love and music to outlast fame. Tonight we know he succeeded. Thank you for keeping his spirit alive for 48 years, and for the years to come." Her words resonated deeply with fans around the world, bridging generations and reminding everyone of the enduring connection between artist and audience. Graceland announced plans to create a permanent exhibit, Heart of the Vault, featuring the letter, Polaroid, Super 8 footage, and rare recordings. A traveling exhibit will allow fans on every continent to experience these treasures firsthand. Digital archives will make these discoveries accessible to scholars and music lovers for generations. Streaming platforms reported record surges in Elvis's music. Can't Help Falling in Love returned to charts worldwide. Vinyl shops sold out reissues, and young fans discovered his music for the first time. The Vault's revelation reminded everyone that Elvis's true gift was not just his fame, it was his ability to connect hearts across time through music. Perhaps the greatest revelation of all is simple yet profound. The king's real treasure was not gold records, jeweled jumpsuits, or sold-out arenas. It was his love for music, his family, his fans, and the legacy he chose to preserve. The sun rises over Graceland once more, casting light on a mansion that has become a symbol of hope, mystery, and enduring music. A soft guitar strum seems to echo through the halls, carrying with it a message. Music, love, and memory are stronger than time. Perhaps the true mystery is not whether Elvis is alive, but how a voice can remain immortal. Thank you for joining us in uncovering this extraordinary chapter of history. Long live the music, long live the king. Ladies and gentlemen, before we truly close this extraordinary chapter of Elvis Presley's vault, let us dive even deeper into the life, secrets, and stories that fans have longed to know. This bonus journey will take you behind the glamour, beyond the legend, and into the very heart of the king. Even after decades, Elvis's influence remains unmatched. His music continues to inspire millions, but behind the hits, behind the sparkling jumpsuits, there was a man who lived in moments few ever saw. The vault gave us glimpses into that private life. Letters, photos, journals, and recordings that reveal a side of Elvis no one ever expected. Imagine holding a photograph of him laughing with a close friend in Graceland's garden, sunlight dancing on the leaves, shadows playing across his face. In another, he sits at a piano, scribbling lyrics on scrap paper, lost in thought, immersed in music that had yet to be shared with the world. These images tell the story not of a celebrity, but of a man who treasured his craft and carefully preserved the moments that mattered most. Fans have always speculated if the king might still be out there, performing in secret, living quietly away from the public eye. The vault adds weight to that legend. Every item, every recording, every note suggests a man who thought ahead, someone who knew that one day, decades later, fans would seek these very treasures. The letters found in the vault are filled with gratitude and emotion. One reads, "Thank you for keeping the music alive in your hearts. "I carry your love with me always." In these words, we feel the human connection Elvis shared with his fans, a bond that transcends fame, distance, and even time itself. Many of these letters also reveal his thoughts on family, privacy, and the pressures of fame. He speaks of quiet walks through Graceland, moments of reflection at the piano, and the simple joys of singing for himself, for no one else. The public image of glitz and spectacle fades, revealing a man of depth, humor, and humility. And then there were the recordings, rare, unreleased tracks that show the creative process in its rawest form. You can hear him experimenting with melodies, trying different rhythms, laughing at lyrics that didn't work. It's intimate, almost like sitting beside him as he crafts the magic note by note. For fans, it's a private invitation into the world of the king, into the mind that created so many unforgettable moments in music history. Stories from people who knew him personally add even more layers to this narrative. A former band member recalls a night in Las Vegas when Elvis slipped away from the venue, walked the streets alone, and quietly bought ice cream for children, smiling at strangers. He wanted to live freely, to breathe without cameras, yet his heart was always connected to those who loved him. Inside the vault, even ordinary items become extraordinary. A worn notebook filled with chord progressions, lyrics, and doodles becomes a window into his mind. A personal photograph of his mother, Gladys, standing in sunlight, reminds us how family shaped the man behind the legend. Every detail tells a story, painting a fuller, richer picture of Elvis than we have ever seen before. Fans worldwide have shared their own experiences too, from first concerts to old records spinning on vintage turntables, from childhood memories of singing along to jailhouse rock to sharing his songs with the next generation. The connection to Elvis spans decades. Grandparents teach their grandchildren lyrics. Friends gather to celebrate birthdays or anniversaries with his music. And in quiet moments, listeners around the globe hear his voice and feel his presence. Even today, his voice evokes emotion like no other. Play one of the vault recordings, and you hear vulnerability and sincerity that were often hidden behind the public persona. Fans report chills, laughter, tears, all in a single moment, as if Elvis is speaking directly from the past, whispering to the present. The vault also revealed handwritten set lists from his shows, showing how carefully he curated each performance. Watching the evolution of these choices gives insight into his genius, his intuition, and his desire to connect deeply with audiences. Every decision mattered, every song had a purpose, and every pause was intentional. One journal entry from a tour in the 1970s was particularly moving. He wrote about walking through a quiet town after a show, reflecting on life, music, and the fleeting nature of fame. He spoke of the people he met, the smiles he shared, and the hope that his music would live on long after he was gone. Reading these words today, decades later, they resonate more than ever. They remind us of the enduring human behind the king. Another incredible discovery was a series of candid Polaroids, backstage moments, laughing with bandmates, practicing dance moves, quietly observing fans. These photographs give fans a sense of intimacy, a glimpse of Elvis as a man, not a superstar, someone relatable, someone real. For longtime fans, the vault is both a gift and a revelation. It confirms what many already suspected, that Elvis' spirit never left this world, that his music, his voice, and his heart continue to touch millions every day. Fans have celebrated this revelation globally. Tribute concerts appear spontaneously, gatherings form online, and communities share the newfound treasures, singing along to his unreleased tracks and remembering the king in heartfelt ways. Perhaps the most profound discovery is not a song, not a letter, not a photo, but the sense of connection it brings. Reading his words, listening to his voice, seeing his private moments. Fans feel a bond that transcends time. It is as if Elvis is speaking directly to each one, reminding them that love, music, and memory are eternal. And as the sun rises over Graceland once more, we are reminded that the king's true legacy is more than fame, gold records, or sold-out arenas. It is the music, the shared moments, the stories, and the lives he touched. For every fan listening until the very end, Know this: the vault has given us treasures beyond imagination, but the real gift is the connection between Elvis and all of us. His spirit lives on in every note, every lyric, every heartbeat. His music is immortal, and so is the love of millions around the world. Long live the king. Long live the music.